time ever.
Now, the number of children with special educational needs is increasing every year, but what happens when they finish school at 18? Well, for many, they won't have the grades to go to university, but they don't necessarily have the right skills to get a job.
That's why there's now increasing demand for specialist further education colleges that can help young adults become independent or gain employment. Abigail Bracken's been to West Kent. Her report starts with a baker in the making.
Just a few months after starting work experience at this bakery in Tunbridge Wells, and Poppy Nell can now finesse the almond pastries at what has become her first paid job, with an employer who welcomes her neurodiversity and is happy to teach new skills.
I've learned a huge amount, like piping, using a piping bag, which actually is quite skilled. You need to do it like loads of times to be able to do it. Yeah.
So you started out doing work experience here and you've already got a paid role?
That came along quite quickly, actually, because, how do I put this? It's just such a nice job to have, and the people that I work with are all remarkable. So it was an absolute honour to get a job here.
The bakery has been working with Poppy's specialist further education college to give young people with special needs a chance.
There we go.
She's an incredibly dynamic young lady, and being able to give her an opportunity to grow personally as well as to teach her professional skills has been incredibly valuable. The bakery industry as a whole, we have a wide range of skill sets required, but there is a lot of repetition of processes and recipes that will always be there, that mean that we can spend the time to constantly retrain.
The latest government statistics show that more than 1.7 million pupils in England have special educational needs. That's up over 5% on the previous year, almost 94,000 more children than in 2024.
So there are increasing numbers of children with special educational needs, many of them going to schools where the provision just stops at 18. So that's why there is increasing demand for specialist further education colleges like this one.
There's a replica supermarket here where this former student could practice the skills he needed to be offered a job in Pembury.
I'm really happy, excited. I'm really motivated. No matter what disability you have, you can do that job. It just takes hard work, dedication, and I feel like everybody did it there.
Like the 2/3 of students, the Oaks in Tunbridge has helped into paid employment over the last 3 years. A new £2 million accessible kitchen has just opened here to help more into work. But it's heavily oversubscribed.
The college was founded partly because we heard about people coming back when they'd left school. 3-4 years later, they were benefit culture, they had no future. They come to a college like ours, a specialist college, and they get the skills that they need to progress in life. We're already pretty full for next year, and unfortunately we've said no to 100 people already. So where do those 100 young people go? Because we've had to say no to them because there aren't enough places in the southeast, or in fact up and down the country.
So this college says there needs to be more funding and recognition of the value of specialist colleges in helping young adults like Kieran become great employees. Abigail Bracken, ITV News, Tunbridge.
Well, we can now talk to Claire Howard, who is the Chief Executive of NatSpec, an organisation representing specialist colleges. Claire, thank you for talking to us today. Now, the number of children with SEND needs is growing, but the number of college places are not keeping up, are they?
There is a lot of demand out there in terms of college places. We hear a lot about the need for schools to be supported, and that's really important. But children grow up into young people and young people grow up into adults, so it is very important that we have the college places too.
What are numbers like in Kent and Sussex?
We've got, overall across the country, there's 630 38,000 young people with education, health and care plans, and the South East has the highest number of that, with over 110,000. And if you look at the 16 to 25-year-olds, again, the South East has got 28,000 16 to 25-year-olds. There's a lot of young people out there with additional needs, with special educational needs and disabilities, that deserve a college place. We think it's really important that FE is not forgotten.
How likely are those children, as they become adults, to be placed?
Well, there's plenty of good provision, and I'm at the Oaks Specialist College today, and that's an example across Kent of lots of specialist colleges, and there's also specialist provision in mainstream colleges. But what we are finding is that there is not so much support for specialism in terms of supporting the staff, supporting the facilities, making sure there's enough sites across the country, and also doing the planning to ensure that we've got the right level of support in the right place at the right time for young people, because they all develop at different levels.
And what will happen to these young people if more isn't invested in further education?
Well, we've heard a lot about the numbers of young people who are NEET, not in education, employment and training, going up and up. I think colleges like this, specialist provision in further education, can really make a massive difference to young people who can't find a place or need some extra support to get their independence into adult life. We're seeing colleges able to provide young people with work experience, proper employment prospects post-college, and that transition out of college is so important to make sure that they have their independence, have their agency, and are able to make choices for themselves when they leave education.
And what would you like to see done to improve the situation, briefly?
I think it's really important that policymakers don't forget further education. It's really important that the colleges are seen as just a crucial part of the education system as schools, and make sure that young people have a very smooth transition into college when they leave school, and then onwards after that as well.
OK, Claire Howard, thank you very much for talking to us today.